Now, if you make a right angle triangle over here, so we know that in a right angle triangle, if I've labeled this angle as x, then this becomes your opposite side and this becomes your adjacent side. And this length is your hypotenuse. So hypotenuse over here is being denoted by the radius, which is a length of 1 centimeter. So I'm going to mark over here hypotenuse as 1. Now, if you recall the three trigonometric ratios, that was sine x and cos x, if I take sine x is the ratio of opposite over 1. What was the ratio of sine x?
Opposite over hypotenuse.
Opposite over hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is 1. So opposite length is going to come out as 1 times sine x, which is just sine x. And cos x was the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent length over here is going to come out as 1 times cos x, that is cos x. So see, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace this adjacent and opposite with a new term, that is sine x and cos x. So the vertical distance is going to be referring to sine x, and the horizontal distance is going to represent cos x. Okay, so if P is a point anywhere on the circumference and this is connected to the origin, would you agree? Is it correct to say that the x coordinate of P is cos x? X coordinate of P is cos x and the y coordinate is sine x. Because if you want to reach out to point P from the origin, you will have to travel this amount of distance in the x direction, which is cos x, and this amount of distance in the y direction, which is sine x. So the coordinates of P are going to be cos x, comma sine x. This is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate. So far, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you're going to change the angle, if you're going to change the value of the x, then the x coordinate and the y coordinate are going to be keep on changing. So, for example, if x was 30 degree, then cos of 30 degree and sine of 30 degree, these were the coordinates of P. If x was 60 degree, then your point P would have been over here, somewhere on the top. So this would have been a new coordinate. Because the angle has changed, the x coordinate and the y coordinate will also change. So similarly, if you keep on changing the points on the circumference, it will refer to a different value of x, hence the coordinates are going to change. Now, what you want to understand over here is that changing the value of x changes the coordinates. Okay? So now we are going to link this concept with the graphs of sin x and cos x. So first of all, I'm going to see what happens to this distance which we are calling sin x. Sin x is the vertical distance. Remember this in our example. So let's see what happens to sin x. Now I'm going to measure sin x at different angles. So my first angle is going to be 0. Then I'm going to look at 90 degree. Then I can look at 180 degree, 270, and I'm not gonna be left with space. So let's shrink this down. This is 90. This is 180, 270 and 360. मैंने 90 के गैप्स पे देखना है, ठीक है? अब if the value of x was 0, where do you think this point P would have been?
At
If the value of,
0.
at where, like it will be on the circumference, right? But where should I mark, take this red pointer? If x is 0, meaning the radius, this is the line we are talking about then. Would you agree with this? Then point P should have been marked over here if the angle was 0. Yes or no?
Sir, we can't see your cursor moving.
You can't see my cursor? Is that what you're saying? Can you see the cursor
No,
now?
sir, I can see it now. It wasn't
Okay,
moving before.
all right. So my question was, if the angle, see, focus on this line where it is connected with the circumference, this point P is allowed to move anywhere on the circumference. If the angle is x degrees, my question to you was, where will this point P would be lying? So I mentioned that if the angle is x, it's not going to make any angle with the horizontal line. The angle would be 0. This radius line is going to lie horizontally over here, and point P would be over here. Would you agree with that? With this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. If so, we know that the x coordinate is given by cos x and y coordinate is given by sin x. So if the angle x is 0, I can't see any height of a triangle because it's just a horizontal line, right? So you can't see the height because there is no height. The height is 0. So is it correct to say that if the angle x is 0, then sin x component is going to be 0 because there is no height?
Yes.
So at angle 0, that's my first point. Let me take a different color. This is the first point. Then if this angle x goes to 90 degree, okay, so which means that this point P is gonna come over here at 90 degree. So what do you think the value of sin x would be? Sin x refers to the vertical height. Sin x refers to the
90.
height of the triangle. So if x is going to be 90 degree, focus on this length, okay, which I am calling a radius. अगर ये point P जब x की value 90 degree हो जाएगी, so this point P is going to come over here. Do you agree? यहाँ पर आ जाएगा. तो अब इसकी vertical height क्या होगी? ये किसके equal होगी?
90.
90 तो डिग्री है, लेकिन ये vertical height क्या होगी? Okay.
Will it still be 1 because of the radius?
Yes, it's gonna be 1. Very good. So the point I'm trying to make over here is, okay, if this was a horizontal length, then the length was 1 centimeter. अब अगर point P यहाँ पे होता between 0 and 90 degree, तो यहाँ पे sin x की value ये vertical height है, ठीक है? इसी तरीके से अगर point P यहाँ होता, this would have been the vertical height, this would have been the value of sin x. But if P moves from here to here, then this is the vertical height. So at an angle of 90 degree, sin x will have a value of 1 because that's your radius. So यही वजह है कि जब आप कैलकुलेटर में sin 90 प्रेस करते हैं, you get 1. So at 90 degrees, sin x has a value of 1. Let me mark this as 1 and this is minus 1. This is 1. Let's move further at 270. So if this is 90 degree angle, this angle is going to be 270. This is going to be 180 first. So let's consider what is going to be the value at 180. So if the point P moves from here all the way up to here at this angle, Would you be getting any vertical height?
No.
No. If that's the case, then sin x component will be 0. So if at 180 degrees sin x component is 0, then consider this point to be at an angle of 270 degree, which is this point. So if the point P moves over here, then again this is the vertical component, and the vertical component now is going to be -1. Although the length is going to be 1, but since this is y-axis and this is x-axis, and it's below the x-axis, so this point is going to be -1. So at 270 you get -1, and then when the point P comes back to this position at 360 degree after completing one entire revolution, then again the vertical component gets 0. The reason I'm doing this is just to give you a basic idea how does your graph, how is the graph of sin x form. So between 0 and 90 degree, the height, this height is less than 1, because I know that in a right angle triangle in which the radius, the hypotenuse is 1, the hypotenuse is always the largest side. So sin x should be less than 1 and cos x should be less than 1. ठीक है, तो 0 से लेके 90 के दरमियान जो भी हाइट होगी वो 1 से कम होगी. ये 0 है हाइट, हाइट इंक्रीज हो रही है. मेरे रेड कर्सर को फॉलो करो. ठीक है, पी पॉइंट अगर मैं मूव कर रहा हूँ एंगल के साथ, तो हाइट 1 से अभी तक कम है, कम है, कम है. जब एंगल 90 डिग्री होगा तो हाइट हो जाएगी 1, फिर 1 से डिक्रीज हो रही है, डिक्रीज हो रही है, फिर हो रही है 0, फिर नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में जा रही है, नेगेटिव हो रही है फर्दर, और फिर हो गई -1, फिर फर्दर इंक्रीज कर रही है, इंक्रीज कर रही है, एंड इट इज गेटिंग 0. So this is, now I have all the relevant points. If you connect it with a sketch, this is what you are going to get. And this is the general shape of a sin x graph. So if the equation y equals to sin x, this is how your sin x function varies as you change the value of x. अगर x की वैल्यू 0 है तो sin x, you can take out your calculator and verify. sin 0 0 होता है, sin 90 1, sin 180 degree 0, sin 270 -1, sin 360 0 again. This is one complete cycle of sin x. ठीक है, so जब मैं p के कोऑर्डिनेट को मार्क कर रहा था, so the vertical distance was sin x. अब यही एग्जांपल हम देखते हैं on cos x. चेक करते हैं कि how does the cos x का ग्राफ would be any different. So let us take this value. Okay. Now we are going to draw the graph of cos x. फिर मैं उसकी डिटेल्स में जाता हूँ, अभी बस मुझे बेसिक बताना है, ठीक है, फिर मैं डिटेलिंग में बात करूँगा. So this is your y-axis and that's your x-axis. Again, I'm going to look at 0, 90, 180, 270 and 360 degree angle. I just want to look at how does the cos x function varies when you change the angle of x from 0 to 360 degree. Now coming back to our triangle, which was this, the horizontal distance is represented by cos x. ठीक है, the horizontal distance is represented by cos x, which is this. Now in this circle you are going to look at cos x. तो पहले तो ये देखते हैं कि जब एंगल 0 है, ठीक है, when x is 0, point P lies over here on the circumference, okay, on the horizontal x-axis. You don't have sin x component over here because the height is 0. There is no triangle being formed. ठीक है, but what is the horizontal distance over here? What is this horizontal distance? Can anyone tell
One.
me what this horizontal distance be? Sorry,
It would
someone
be
was
one.
saying something. It would be 1. Yes, it would be 1. Why?
The radius.
That's right.
Because the radius is 1. Very good. So this graph starts from 1. So I'm going to mark a point over here that at an angle of 0 degree, cos x function has a value of 1 to start off with. Now, as you increase, just focus on this length, okay? As you increase the angle and move the point P upward, is it correct to say that the horizontal distance keep on decreasing?
Yes.
And the horizontal distance gets 0 as the angle reaches 90 degree. Is it correct to say that?
Yes.
Okay, so at 90 degree, the horizontal distance gets 0. Then what happens after 0? As you increase the angle further above 90 degree, okay, you're going to get some angle, you're going to get a distance. For example, if P point was here, making an obtuse angle, then even this is your right angle triangle and that's your distance, the value of cos x. Would you agree that the cos x value is going to be negative because it's towards the left side of the x-axis? So would you agree that this distance is going to be negative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the distance from 0 gets further negative, 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 negative until it has a value of what over here? What is going to be the value as soon as P reaches this 180-degree point? What do you think the distance would be? The horizontal distance would be?
-1.
It is going to be -1. Very good. So that's going to be -1. So this is -1. So at 180 degree, the distance is -1. Now further, if it travels till here, so what is this distance going to be?
0.
It's going to be 0. And at 360 degree, what is horizontal distance going to be?
1.
1. Okay. So now what you are going to see is the basic sketch of cos x graph. And you are required to remember these basic sketches. This is y equals to cos x ka sketch. So this was y equals to sin x. See, the sin x graph starts from 0. At 90 degree, it goes up to 1. At 180 degree, it goes to 0 again. Then at 270, it reaches -1. And at 360, it comes back to 0. However, for cos x graph, it starts from 1, comes down to 0 at 90 degree, then this function has a value of -1 at 180 degree, then travels up at 270 degree, gets 0 at 270 degree, and the function has a value of 1 again at 360 degree. Are you guys clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now these graphs, the sin x graph and the cos x graph, are known as periodic functions. Okay, now sine and cosine functions, these are called periodic functions because they are going to repeat themselves over and over again. Now, what does that mean is, okay, these are not just restricted to 0 and 0 till 360 degree. It can go beyond 360 degree for further angles, and even it can travel at negative angles. It you will be having sine and cosine value for negative angles as well. So the graphs are known to be periodic functions. So they are going to be called periodic functions. Periodic functions का मतलब होगा कि they can travel just give me a minute, I'm going to extend this graph further. Okay, so if I extend this graph after 360 degree, it is allowed to travel further, but it will maintain its shape. This is the basic shape, and it is going to be repeating itself after the 360 degree as well. So after 360 degree, okay, if I add 90 to 360, what do you get? 450. So at 450, you are going to have a new value, 450 plus 90, 540. Okay, so this graph is going to go further above and then come down, and the same shape is going to be repeating even for the negative angle. So this is negative 90, negative 180. So this graph is going to go down at minus 90. It is, the value is going to be minus 1, and then it will go up. So these are periodic functions. The same thing will happen with the Cossacks cycle. Now you must be aware of what do we mean by the word period. Period means that the period of a periodic function is basically defined as the length of one cycle, the length of one repetition. So it is going to be given in degrees. So if I ask you, where is one cycle of sin x being completed? While the graph that you see on your screen right now, by looking at this graph, can you tell me what is going to be the period of this graph?
Is it
360.
360?
Yes, 360 degree. Because the basic sine and cosine functions are going to repeat after every 360 degree. So the period is going to be 360 degree. The next thing is the amplitude. Amplitude is basically is the distance between a maximum point and the principal axis. For example, this is the principal axis. This x-axis is the principal axis, because the entire function of sin x is oscillating around this point. It's the center line. So if you calculate the distance from here to the top, this distance is going to be referred to as the amplitude. And you can see that for the basic sine and cosine functions, the amplitude is going to be 1. Even for this graph, cos x graph, the amplitude from the principal axis to the distance between the principal axis and the highest point is 1. So you can say that the amplitude is 1. Okay. In radians, the period is going to be called 360. 360 का equivalent radian कितना होता है? Do you guys know? 360 का equivalent radians में कितना होता है?
2 radian, right?
2 pi radians. ठीक है? So even you can, in your exams, you can get a graph in which the x-axis is labeled in radians. So 0 radian, 0 degrees is equal to 0 radian. ये बस याद रखना कि पाई रेडियन इज इक्विवेलेंट टू 180 डिग्रीज. तो फिर इससे सबको कंपेयर कर सकते हो, कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो. तो 90 डिग्रीज कितना हो जाएगा? पाई बाय 2 रेडियंस. 180 डिग्री हो जाएगा पाई रेडियंस. 270 डिग्री हो जाएगा 3 पाई बाय 2 रेडियंस. ठीक है. तो अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि रेडियंस में इसका कितना पीरियड है, यू आर गोइंग टू से दैट 2 पाई रेडियंस. सही है? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now the next example that I want to discuss is the graph of 10x. फिर मैं इसकी वेरिएशंस भी करवाता हूँ कि अगर मैं एम्पलीट्यूड चेंज करता हूँ तो किस तरीके का ग्राफ होगा, और अगर मैं पीरियड चेंज करता हूँ तो वी आर गोइंग टू लुक ऑल ऑफ देम इन डिटेल, but for time being we are just going to focus on simple basic graphs. Now I'm going to draw the graph of y equals to 10x. ठीक है, so सबसे पहले you are going to mark the axis. Starting with the 0 degree. Now for 10x, what you need to understand is that there are some values at which the function is not defined. So for example, if you guys can take out your calculator, try to calculate tan of 90 degree. What do you get?
Math error.
Math error. Basically this math error is because that function, the function of tan x, is not defined at an angle of 90 degree. So we are looking at a function. Now this function is not similar to sine and cosine function. It behaves differently, and it is not a continuous function, meaning there is a break. There are some values at which this function is not going to be defined, and one of the value that we just saw is 90 degree, because at 90 degree, if I take tan of 90 degree, the calculator gives me math error because the value cannot be calculated. So we are going to say that the function is not going to be defined at the 90 degree value. So what we do is, after marking the angles 90, 180, 270, 360, 450, let's say, minus 90, minus 180, minus 270, okay, and let me call this minus 360, okay. Now I know that at 90 degree my function was not defined, so I'm going to draw a vertical dashed lines indicating that my function is not gonna have any value at this point. Now you would expect the same answer at minus 90 as well. If you take out your calculator and press 10 of minus 90, you are still not going to get any value. The same thing is going to happen at 270 degree. And the same thing is going to happen even at 450 degree. And minus 270 as well. So these red dotted lines indicate that I'm not going to have any value. My graph is going to lie between these red boundaries. Now we are going to see how does the graph would look like. So I'm going to sketch the basic curve of 10x for you, and then you need to remember the basic shape. So tan of 0 degree is 0, okay, and tan of 45 degree is going to be 1. But as you keep on taking more values other than 45, let's say for example 1060, ठीक है, तो आपके पास एक बड़ी value आएगी. Then you take tan of 70, you will get a further higher value. Tan of 85, even you can get an answer of tan of 88. Just make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Okay, tan of 88. So you are going to get 28.636. That means that the value of the tan function keeps on increasing as you increase the angle. But that angle should always be less than 90 degree. So if I draw the graph, the shape is going to look like this. Okay, I'm making up an arrow because this indicates that the graph is going to go up. Okay, it's okay if you don't even make the arrow. You can just draw the graph like this. And if you take negative angles, for example, tan of minus 45, you're going to get -1, and the graph is going to go like this further down. This is one cycle of 10x. Okay, this is one cycle of 10x. This indicates that the function goes up to infinity, meaning I can have as high as possible. So you can say that the function tends to have a infinite value over here, but it will never have a value at x equals to 90 degree. Over here, the value of the function is trending towards negative infinity, but it's not gonna have the value of the function at -90. So the 10x, the function is very much limited to between -90 and 90. And this is your one cycle of 10x. One cycle. Now, this also is going to repeat itself. If you consider sin x and cos x, I mentioned that after every 360 degree, the pattern is going to get repeated. So hence the period for sin and cos x was 360 degree, because after every 360 degree, the pattern was repeating itself. However, in 10x, the pattern is going to repeat after every 180 degree. So if you see over here, the distance between these two vertical dash lines is 180 degree. Now this means that after another 180 degree, the pattern must repeat itself. So if I extend the graph further, this is what you should get. One cycle, half the cycle up, half the cycle down, half the cycle up, half the cycle down. Over here as well, half the cycle up, half the cycle down. Over here, just half the cycle because I don't have much space. So this is how your basic 10x graph would look like. Now there is no such thing as amplitude over here because you can't tell the amplitude, but the period, the basic period for 10x is going to be 180 degree. Whereas for sine x and cos x, after every 360 degree, the cycle was repeating itself. Okay, now I want you to let me know if you guys have any questions till here. Is the graph of
Sir, it's
10x
clear.
clear? Achha, I forgot to mention that these lines are known as the asymptotes. asymptotes. Yes, asymptotes. These are the vertical lines where your graph is gonna go closer to but will never intersect. Okay. So the tangent function also does not have any amplitude. So I'm gonna show the screen again of what we have done so far. This is the first slide. Any questions that pops up into your mind regarding the first slide, please ask. If you want to add or comment something, please do so. Kashish, any questions? Why not, Renu?
No,
No,
sir,
sir.
understood.
It's
Okay.
clear, sir.
All right. Now the next task is going to look at some variations about these trigonometric ratios. Let's do sine graph first. So now I'm going to write the general equation of a trigonometric function, a sine bx plus c, where a, b, and c are the values that are responsible for the transformation of the graph. A stands for the amplitude, B stands for the number of cycles that your graph will have in 360 degree. Number of cycles in 360 degree. And C value is responsible for vertical translation. Okay, you can call it a line where your principal axis is gonna be, or you can say it's responsible for vertical translation. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. So as I discussed, that B refers to the number of cycles in 360 degree. C is can be called as principal axis, or you can say responsible for vertical translation. And you there one more term is used, that is axis of rotation. And A stand for the amplitude. Okay. So the example could be y equals to 2 sine 2x plus 5. Now, in this equation, 2 is the amplitude. This is the value of B. Now, this tells you that there are two cycles being formed, two cycles in 360 degree. So, if there are two cycles in 360 degree, in how many degrees is there going to be one cycle? One cycle
180.
is
180.
180 degree. So remember this thing, that a period of a graph is when you get one cycle. So if I want to find the period of this graph, that is going to be 360 divided by the value of B. So 360 divided by 2 karoge, so you are going to get 180 degree. That's the period of this graph. So in exam, if you are asked a 1 mark question, state the period of this function, then you're going to see this value, which is the value of B. You're going to divide it by 360, and the resulting answer is going to be the new period of the graph. And this is the axis of rotation. So at plus 5, the axis of rotation is going to be made. Okay, so step by step, the first thing that we are going to see is how does the graph of the sine x changes when you have the change in the amplitude. So for example, your equation changes from sine x to, this is the general form that we are discussing right now, a sine x, where a is responsible for the change in amplitude. So compare your graph, you are going to compare your graph with the basic graph, that is sine x. Okay? If I give you an equation of y equals to 2 sine x, and you're going to compare it with y equals to sine x. Okay, so 0 degree, 90 degree, or let me make it further clear, 90, 180, 270, and 360. 90, 180, 270, 360 degree. So if you, first of all, I'm going to make the graph of sin x, and then you are going to tell me how would the graph of 2 sin x would be any different from sin x. So sin x, sin 0 is 0. Remember, sin 90 is 1. Sin 180 is 0. Sin 270 is -1, and sin 360 is 0 again. This is the graph of y equals to sin x. Okay, I have drawn sin x. Now what, if I want to draw y equals to 2 sin x, what is happening to the values of sin x? It is being multiplied by 2. So every value on the graph should be multiplied by 2. So if I multiply this value by 2, okay, what is going to be the result?
So the maximum value will be 2.
Yes, that's correct. But do you see the red cursor over here? This value right now is 0, meaning the value of the function, that is sin x, is 0. If I am going to multiply this by 2, what will happen? Where is this point gonna go?
Would it stay at 0?
Yes, it is gonna stay at 0. Because the value of the function is 0. अगर sin x की value 0 है, तो 0 को जब मैं 2 से multiply करूंगा तो वो तो 0 ही होगा ना. So this is going to remain as it is. Now, what about this point? This was 1. As Kashyap said that the highest value is going to be 2. That is because this value, the highest point, which was 1, is now going to be multiplied by 2. So the new position is going to go at 2. Okay. What about this point?
0.
It is going to remain as it is at 0. What about this point?
-2.
-2. So this point is going to go at -2. And this point will remain as it is. So my new graph would look like this. Okay, so what you notice is the change in the amplitude. Previously, the amplitude was 1, and now the amplitude is 2. So the amplitude is 2. If we talk in terms about the transformation, you're going to say that there has been a stretch in the y direction. The transformation basically is a stretch in y direction by a scale factor of 2, meaning it has been stretched to twice. So the amplitude is 2. ये भी कह सकते हो. ठीक है. क्या क्या इस a की वैल्यू चेंज करने से क्या मेरा पीरियड चेंज हो रहा है?
No.
No. ठीक है. Previously also the sin x was, the one cycle of sin x was getting completed in 360, and also now the one cycle is going to be completed in 360. It is just responsible for the vertical stretch. It is not responsible for the horizontal stretch. Okay,
Yes,
clear
sir.
till here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you what will happen if you have a situation like this, sin bx. अब b की वैल्यू चेंज करके हम देखेंगे. Again we are going to compare the two equations. One is the sin x and the other is the sin 2x. Okay. So again, I have to draw the graph of sin x first. Okay. Now, as we speak earlier, this guy over here, this value is responsible for the number of cycles in 360-degree. So if B value is 2 over here, is it correct to say that there are going to be number of cycles are going to be 2? Number of cycles
Yes.
in 360-degree are going to be 2. So one cycle is going to be completed in
180
180.
degrees.
180. That's why the new period is going to be 360 divided by the value of B, which is 180-degree. Meaning my one cycle of sin x is going to be completed in 180-degree. तो जब एक cycle पूरी 180-degree में complete हो जाएगी, तो आधी cycle is going to get completed in 90-degree. So shape वही रहेगा. अब देखो change क्या आएगा. आधी cycle में मुझे एक cycle यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ तक complete करनी है. तो आधी cycle होगी complete कहाँ पे? 90 पे. तो जो point था वो 45 पे आ जाएगा फिर. यानी कि अगर मैं स्केच करूं तो ये आधी साइकिल हो जाएगी. सही है. एंड द रिमेनिंग हाफ इज गोइंग टू बी दिस. सो जब 180 डिग्री के अंदर एक साइकिल कंप्लीट होगी तभी तो जाके 360 डिग्री के अंदर 2 साइकिल्स कंप्लीट होंगी. बात समझ में आई? So what is the difference
Yes.
between the two graphs, blue and red? One represents sin x की equation, the other represents sin 2x की equation. This graph represents y equals to sin 2x, and this graph represents y equals to sin x. Sin 3x hota, so there are going to be 3 cycles in 360 degree. Then one cycle would be in
90.
no, one cycle would be in 120 degree. 360 divided by the value of b. अगर sin 3x होता तो b की वैल्यू 3 होती. So 120 डिग्री में एक साइकिल कंप्लीट होती और 360 के अंदर 3 साइकिल्स बनती. ये 360 डिग्री होता. तो समझ में आ रहा है? ये हॉरिजॉन्टल स्ट्रेचिंग हो रही है. यानी कि अब आपको उसी जगह पे 2 साइकिल्स घुसानी है. सो उतने स्पेस में देयर आर नाउ मोर साइकिल्स, तो वो जगह कम लेंगे. सो द पीरियड हैज टू चेंज. नाउ द if I ask you what is the period of this graph, you are going to say what? The period of this graph is 180 degree, whereas the period of sin x is 360 degree. That's the difference. Do you get the concept over here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, if you do, then can you guys just answer this? Y equals to sin half x का क्या गेम होगा? Y equals to sin half x. So what does this value represent?
The number of cycles in 360.
In 360 degree. So अगर आधी साइकिल 360 डिग्री में बनेगी तो इसका पीरियड क्या होगा?
720.
720.
720.
Yes. 360 divided by the value of b, that is half, that is 720. यानी कि 720 डिग्री में जाके एक पूरी साइकिल कंप्लीट होगी. तो आधी साइकिल बनेगी किसमें? 360 डिग्री में. तो अगर हाफ साइकिल 360 डिग्री में बनेगी वो भी sin x की. ठीक है. तो द फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज गोना बी दिस. 180 डिग्री पे द वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी 1. 360 पे द वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी 0. तब जाके ये आधी साइकिल कंप्लीट होगी. और बाकी की आधी कहाँ होगी 720 में आगे जाके, ठीक है, मेरे पास स्पेस नहीं है वहां पे, बट यू गेट द आइडिया राइट। 720 में फिर जाके वो
Yes,
कंप्लीट
sir.
होगी। ये 720 होगा फिर, और ये 360 डिग्री। ऑलराइट, so that was the idea about changing the value of b that was responsible for the stretching in the x-axis. Okay, you guys can take screenshot at the end, ठीक है, मुझे पता है अभी आप लोग फौरन कॉपी नहीं कर सकते कंटेंट। The next thing, the next and the last thing related to sine x would be y equals to sine x plus c. Now we are going to see what happens when this value is changed. So again, simple, you're going to take two equations. पहला मैं ले लेता हूँ y equals to sin x और दूसरी मैं ले लेता हूँ y equals to sin x plus 1. अब मैं देखूंगा कि दोनों ग्राफ किस तरीके से डिफरेंट होंगे. So if I draw sin x का ग्राफ, this is 90, 180, 270, 360 degrees, 0. This is 1, this is negative 1. At 270 it is minus 1, 360. Done. This is your sin x graph. Now what's happening to sin x का function? It is being shifted 1 unit upward. यानी कि पूरे के पूरे ग्राफ में 1 वैल्यू वर्टिकल डायरेक्शन में एड अप हो गई है, which will now I'm going to see where is that going to take my curve. So this point, इस पॉइंट में जब मैं 1 ऐड करूंगा, अभी यहाँ पे साइन, मुझे पता है साइन ऑफ 0 डिग्री 0 होता है, ठीक है, तो साइन एक्स की वैल्यू 0 है, जब मैं इसमें 1 ऐड कर दूंगा तो ये पॉइंट कहाँ पे चले जाएगा, 1 पे चले जाएगा. सो माय न्यू पॉइंट इज गोइंग टू बी 1. फिर इसकी बात करते हैं, साइन 90 पे वैल्यू आती है 1, जब उसमें मैं 1 ऐड कर दूंगा तो वो कहाँ चले जाएगा,
2.
इसी तरीके से 0 पे जो पॉइंट था वो 1 पे वापस आ जाएगा. हाँ जी, जो -1 पे था वो कहाँ चले जाएगा, ये वाला पॉइंट कहाँ जाएगा, 0 पे आ जाएगा, 1 यूनिट ऐड हो जाएगा और ये वाला पॉइंट यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. सो मेरा न्यू ग्राफ जो होगा वो इस तरीके का कुछ दिखेगा. So what you guys see now is this, that ये प्रिंसिपल एक्सेस है आप, ठीक है, यानी कि एक्सेस ऑफ रोटेशन. इस इक्वेशन की लाइन है y इक्वल्स टू 1, यानी कि हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन है y इक्वल्स टू 1. इसके अबाउट मेरा पूरा का पूरा sin x का ग्राफ ऑसिलेट कर रहा है, ठीक है. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ c कैन बी आइडेंटिफाइड. अगर मैं सिर्फ आपको ये ग्राफ देता हूँ, मैं आपको कहता है इसकी इक्वेशन बताओ, तो सबसे पहले तो आपको शेप पता होना चाहिए कि ये sin x का ग्राफ है, ठीक है. फिर आप इसका एम्पलीट्यूड देखोगे तो ठीक है, एम्पलीट्यूड 1 है. प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस आपने जब आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया, उधर से लेकर टॉप पॉइंट तक द डिस्टेंस इज 1. देन मैंने आपको एक जनरल फॉर्म बताया था, a sin bx plus c. a की वैल्यू 1 है, ठीक है. कितनी साइकिल्स बन रही हैं 360 डिग्री के अंदर, एक साइकिल, तो b की वैल्यू भी 1 है. और c क्या होता है, एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन, वो 1 से पास हो रहा है, तो यहाँ पे 1. तो इक्वेशन आ गई y को जो sin x plus 1 इस ग्राफ की, इस तरीके से आप निकाल सकते हो. ये वाला जो कर्व है इसमें क्या है, y को जो sin x plus 0, अब हम प्लस 0 लिखते नहीं है, इसलिए y को जो sin x का ग्राफ है, ठीक है. सो दिस ओवर हियर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल, और यू कैन से दैट द ग्राफ has been translated by Now, if you guys are familiar with the concept of vectors, you are going to see over here that the graph has been translated by the vector 0 1. इसका मतलब है ये पॉइंट को अगर मुझे ट्रांसलेट करना है 0 1 से, which means कि मुझे x डायरेक्शन में 0 मूव करना है और y डायरेक्शन में 1 मूव करना है। तो 0 1 का मतलब है ये पॉइंट यहाँ चले जाएगा। 0 1 का मतलब है कि ये पॉइंट x एक्सिस में कुछ नहीं मूव करेगा, सीधा ऊपर चले जाएगा। ये पॉइंट सीधा ऊपर चले जाएगा, 0 1, ठीक है। So this, if you change the value of c in the trigonometric equation, you're going to see a vertical translation, ठीक है। Do remember this. अच्छा, now if I ask you कि how would the graph of y equals to sin x minus 2 look like? So what will happen to this graph? अच्छा, also can you guys sketch y equals to sin x minus 2? ये सब मेरे लिए sketch कर दो आप लोग। ठीक है, आई एम वेटिंग। आप लोग जब स्केच कर लो तो फिर मुझे बताना, मैं स्केच करके आपको दिखा देता हूँ। Where will this point go?
Which point, sir?
This point. Can you see my red cursor?
-2. Yes, -2.
-2 पे चले जाएगा। Yes. So -2 पे ये पॉइंट चले जाएगा। इसी तरीके से can I simply say कि पूरा का पूरा ग्राफ 2 यूनिट्स नीचे चले जाएगा। तो शेप वही रहेगा, पूरा का पूरा ग्राफ को मुझे सिर्फ 2 यूनिट्स नीचे शिफ्ट कर देना है। और एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन क्या होगा? -2। सो ये -2 के अबाउट मेरा नया ग्राफ ऑसिलेट करेगा। One last thing before we end the class. You are always asked to find the range of the function. Since it's trigonometry, so trigonometric equations also represent trigonometric functions. तो functions में domain range का concept होता है, ठीक है। तो sin x और cos x की जो range होती है, range क्या होती है? If you guys remember, minimum से लेके maximum. तो if you see this screen, sin x की जो range है वो कहाँ से कहाँ तक है? What is the minimum value of sin x?
-1.
-1। और मैक्सिमम वैल्यू क्या है? 1।
1.
दैट्स द रेंज ऑफ द sin x। इसी तरीके से cos x की रेंज कहाँ से कहाँ तक है?
-1 to 1.
-1 से लेके, वेरी गुड। अब tan x की जो रेंज है, ठीक है, यहाँ पे कोई लिमिटेशन नहीं है, ये पॉजिटिव इन्फिनिटी तक जा रहा है और ये पार्ट नेगेटिव इन्फिनिटी तक जा रहा है। तो हम कहते हैं कि tan x की जो रेंज है वो बेसिकली नेगेटिव इन्फिनिटी से लेके पॉजिटिव इन्फिनिटी तक जनरल रेंज जा रही है, ठीक है। ठीक है, अच्छा, अब मैंने लास्ट एग्जांपल ये की है, ठीक है। मैं अब ये लास्ट चीज जो क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछने जा रहा हूँ वो ये है कि कंसिडर दिस ग्राफ which has a which represent a function of sin x minus 2, f of x equals to sin x minus 2। मैं इस तरीके से भी इसको लिख सकता हूँ, f of x equals to sin x minus 2। what is the range of the function?
-1. No.
मिनिमम वैल्यू क्या है? तो f of x की रेंज क्या है, मिनिमम वैल्यू क्या है इसकी?
-3.
-3 और मैक्सिमम वैल्यू क्या है?
-1.
-1 is a higher value than -3. अब हमेशा तो मैं ग्राफ बनाने नहीं बैठूंगा ना, मतलब अगर कोई भी फंक्शन देंगे तो मैं 1 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन होगा कि फाइंड द रेंज ऑफ द फंक्शन, तो मैं ग्राफ बनाने तो नहीं बैठूंगा हर वक्त। तो अब मुझे ये अगर डायरेक्ट फाइंड करना है तो मैं कैसे करूं? फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे पास है sin x -2, ठीक है, ये मेरा f of x है, और लेट्स से मुझे ग्राफ नहीं पता होता, तो मुझे ये तो पता है ना कि ये जो sin x का फंक्शन है इट ऑसिलेट्स बिटवीन -1 एंड 1, यानी कि sin x की मेरे पास अगर रेंज है -1 से लेके 1 तक, तो व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू इज कि आप sin x की जगह -1 रख के चेक कर लो, ठीक है, और sin x की जगह +1 रख के चेक कर लो, दो वैल्यूज आ जाएंगी आपके पास -3 और -1। अब ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि ये वैल्यू जो है ये हायर वैल्यू है, ये लोअर वैल्यू है, सो जो आप f of x की रेंज कहोगे वो कहोगे -3 से लेके -1 तक। तो इसमें आपको ग्राफ बनाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी। यू गाइस गेट माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
आर देयर एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस?
Sir, can you explain that part where you made us to write something regarding vector?
Yeah, sure. Over here, this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what have you done transformation in O level maths? अभी तक कर लिया चैप्टर या नहीं किया अभी तक?
No.
Sorry, I can't hear you. कर लिया वो चैप्टर या नहीं किया?
नहीं सर, नहीं किया।
ओके, अच्छा, वेक्टर्स का चैप्टर किया?
Yes.
ठीक है, तो वेक्टर में कॉलम वेक्टर याद है क्या था?
Yes sir.
ठीक है, तो ये कॉलम वेक्टर के फॉर्म में है, जैसे कि ये अगर मैं लिखता हूँ ए, ठीक है, तो ये मेरा कॉलम वेक्टर है, इसमें दिस रिप्रेजेंट्स द एक्स कंपोनेंट, दिस रिप्रेजेंट द वाई कंपोनेंट। तो अगर मैं ये पॉइंट ओ कह रहा हूँ एंड दिस इज द पॉइंट, लेट्स से, हाँ, दिस इज अ पॉइंट पी, so if I make a vector over here connecting O and P, that vector is going to be termed as OP. so उसका कॉलम वेक्टर क्या होगा? यू O से अगर P जाना है आपने, तो you have to move 2 units in the x direction and 2 units in the y direction. so 2 2 उसका कॉलम वेक्टर होता। अब यहाँ पे मेरे पास कॉलम वेक्टर है 0 1, इसका मतलब है you don't need to move any distance in the x direction, the only distance you are going to move is in the y direction by 1 unit. so ये कॉलम वेक्टर आपको यही बता रहा है कि अगर sin x plus c है, ये c, this c is only responsible for the movement of the graph in the vertical direction, horizontal direction में कुछ नहीं। तो इस टाइप ऑफ मूवमेंट को हम कहते हैं ट्रांसलेशन, ठीक है, यानी कि जैसे कि अभी जो ट्रांसलेशन हो रही है वो 0 1 वेक्टर से हो रही है, विच मीन्स के नो मूवमेंट इन द एक्स डायरेक्शन, द ओनली मूवमेंट इज इन द वाई डायरेक्शन बाय 1 यूनिट। सो ये पॉइंट मैंने पिक किया, इस पॉइंट को अगर मुझे मूव करना है, मैं कहीं पे भी मूव कर सकता था, यहाँ पे मूव करता तो मुझे कुछ डिस्टेंस यहाँ मूव करना पड़ता, कुछ डिस्टेंस यहाँ मूव करना पड़ता इधर पहुंचने के लिए, बट आई एम नॉट मूविंग एनी डिस्टेंस, सो ये वाला पॉइंट सीधा सीधा वर्टिकली ऊपर जा रहा है। सो अगर मुझे इस पॉइंट को ट्रांसलेट करना है यहाँ तक, तो आई एम गोना ट्रांसलेट इट बाय 0 1, व्हिच मींस डोंट मूव इन द एक्स डायरेक्शन, ओनली मूव 1 यूनिट इन द वाई डायरेक्शन, आप पहुंच जाओगे यहाँ पे। ये डिस्टेंस को, ये पॉइंट को अगर ट्रांसलेट करना है तो 0 1 वेक्टर से ट्रांसलेट कर लूंगा। 0 का मतलब है नो डिस्टेंस मूव्ड इन द एक्स, 1 यूनिट इन द वाई डायरेक्शन, तो ये पहुंच गया यहाँ पे। तो ये ट्रांसलेशन की मैंने बात की थी, ठीक है।
Okay sir, thank you so much.
You're welcome. अब if you guys want screenshot, please have it. ठीक है, मैं screen change करता रहूँगा। First slide was this, so you can take the screenshot. Why not? Is it clear? Why not? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
everything
sure. It's
clear?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So let me know when you're done with the screenshot of the first screen. Should I change the screen?
Sure, we're done. Yes.
This is the second screen.
Done.
Third.
Done.
Fourth.
Done.
Fifth.
Done.
Sixth. Seventh.
Done, sir.
ठीक है. This is the second last. Done.
Yes, sir.
And this was the last. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next class. That is tomorrow. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir.
Lafis, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Allah Hafiz.